Morning, beautiful people out there. Well, welcome to our third episode of Wealth Wednesdays. And today we have a special guest, David Duran. He's our national sales partner and also one of the top annuity producers for last month. So actually, when he was the top producer for last month. So today, what we're going to discover today is how David is actually getting in touch with all these potentials, right? I know a lot of us maybe are very green in this space, but we're not green in this industry, meaning that we have a pretty good amount of book of business, we have friends, we have families, we have relatives, we got ex co-workers, all those people come into play. And the reason why I say that is because I would say 60% of my annuity business come from that book of business, friends, family, ex-coworker, acquaintance, and how do we get those? Is we just make a simple conversation about ensuring your retirement accounts, seeing how they're doing, anything new and exciting happening in their life, right? And by just having these small talks, it's going to lead up to, oh yeah, you know what? I just got. Oh yeah, you know what? I recently sold a house. Or, there's always those unfortunate conversation where, yeah, my mother just passed away, my father just passed away. Um, I hit the lottery. I don't know, but there's always something happening in everybody's day. If we just take some time out to not always make it like a sales call. And David's gonna go over this really, really quick here, but just not make it like a sales call and make it more of a conversation. You're gonna find out that it's gonna lead to more opportunity because people sense that you're just wanting a conversation. You're really just wanting to see how they're actually really doing. Because when I call, I've been doing this for over 15 years, and every one of my calls, they know who I am because I religiously call them once a year, just a casual, even if they don't even want to talk, right? I mean, just yesterday, for a perfect example, yesterday I called his name is David Lotzi. Okay. This guy, I put him into an annuity plan about 7 years ago. And every single year I call to do a review. He never picks up my call. Never. Never picks up my call ever. Okay. And I do this religiously, no matter if he picks up or not. And for some reason this year, he decides to pick up my phone call. And when he picked up my phone call, we talked, and I even said this. I said, I'm really surprised that you picked up my phone call because I have been trying to get a hold of you for the past 6 years. Okay, and you never once picked up my phone call. I said, you know what, John, I've been super busy with my life. I said, oh yeah, so how are things now? Like, are you okay health wise? Are you remarried? Are you know, because I have notes on all of my files, right? Mental notes and also notes on my fact finder. And unfortunately, he told me that his health is declining, and now he needs more income from his annuity. So right away, I said, okay, well, I'm sorry to hear about your health, but I can definitely help you boost up your monthly income. And when I said that, he was just so happy. So we are scheduling a 30-minute Zoom call just to show him some new features because again, just because they have a policy 6 years ago doesn't mean that we can't improve their financial situation now because caps are higher, right? There's higher bonus and there's better products because we have to evolve with everything. Just like technology evolves. Well, we have to evolve. Product evolves, right? So if you constantly talk to your clients, regardless of what policy they have, a final expense, a mortgage protection, a Medicare plan, things are going to change in their life. Things will change because nobody stays plateau throughout their entire life, right? So just make it a habit. Make it a habit of reaching out. Call 10 people a day. You don't have to call through your entire book, right? Go back to the month of July. How many people did you sell that month? Call five people, 10 people, right? And that's it. And then you can find if you can speak to one or two people, that is a win. Because if you don't do it, that means you spoke to nobody, right? But you'd be surprised how many of your clients love to hear that you actually call them to check up on them. Like they're really surprised, and you never know what happened in their life. So, for example, David here, I think last month he went through his book of business and he was able to reach out to a couple of his current clients and he put him into a much better position. So, David, if you can, why don't we speak on, how you were able to actually uncover an extra $1 million in annuity production and help them put them in a better position, and how did that conversation flow?
Yeah, man, no problem. And again, a lot of it's going to echo exactly what you just talked about in the fact that everyone right here that has a book of business, I don't care if it's 3 clients or 300 clients, you need to treat your book of business like if it's gold because it is. It's your book of business. And one of the things that I will start with to kind of really get that fire under people, and John will both agree with this, that if you're not calling your people to see how they're doing, to find out what's going on with them, someone else is.
Okay.
I guarantee that there's this industry has boomed to a ridiculous degree where you have very serious agents who want to create the best business possible and take care of their clients as well as they can. And then you have others that just watch TikTok and know, hey, if I just call a few people, I guarantee I can get a couple policies here a month, make some extra money, and then boom, they hit that whale. They call that person, and all of a sudden now they just moved $1 million over when you could have moved it, or they took it from you, or you never knew it existed because you didn't bother to talk to your clients about it. And we have numerous opportunities, right? We have, if you have even one annuity client, you've got your annual review. If you've got multiple clients just through life insurance, again, we still have annual reviews. We have birthdays. We get emails, guys, where clients miss a payment or because it's either not sufficient funds, which is okay, it happens to everybody, and you got to remember, people have multiple bank accounts, so they use certain bank accounts for certain transactions. We also have clients that change their banking information. We get those updates. And I will tell you, most agents do not reach out to those clients to take care of that. Or they simply tell the client, hey, call this number, they'll send you the form, go ahead and take care of it. Guys, that is how we lose opportunities. And I guarantee everyone on this call, if you've got a handful of clients, you have at least $100,000 somewhere with those clients that you can roll over. And it may not be directly through them, and I'll give you an example why, but it might be through their warm market. And by having the right conversation with those individuals, we get access to those opportunities. And I'll give you one example. I've had a client since 2021, lives in Chicago, never met him in person, but we got him started with an IUL. He doesn't have very good health, so he got rated to a ridiculous degree. But he's been on therapy and he's been a compliant patient with his doctor, and we've kept annual reviews. We've kept the conversations going. So every time we meet, I ask him, hey, tell me a little bit about your health. Are you listening to your doctor? And we kind of laugh about it, but yeah, he tells me things have gotten better. And all of a sudden, January of this year, I propose the idea, hey, you don't have living benefits. I promise this story is going to lead into an FIA, guys. You don't have living benefits, but if you're telling me your blood work is better, you've dropped weight, your diabetes has been under control, we have an opportunity for a better rating. Oh, by the way, what did you ever do with that old 401k? This is a conversation we've had for years, and he just was not ready to discuss it. One of those main reasons was credibility. He wanted to make sure I was going to be there for the long haul, that I didn't ghost him. And that's a Jonathan Eckenroth term right there. We do a great job of ghosting clients all the time because we get their business and then we're one and done. But the really truly successful agents, the professionals in this building, in this business, the John Does of the world, the Jonathan Eckenroths, the Romans, they understand that when you help a client, you are now their agent for life if you show up. Happy birthdays, annual reviews, whatever, it doesn't matter. Back to my story. So we got my client his new IUL, he got his living benefits. All of a sudden, he tells me, hey, my wife's interested in the industry. I've worked with you for over 5 years now. Would you mind talking to her because I trust you? And that was his word. I trust you. And I know you would put her in a good position. Lo and behold, with her coming on board, we were able to now start talking about that old 401k. And it's funny because even my client said she already had her, or my agent said she already had her insurance license, and he still would not want to talk to his own wife about rolling that old 401k over. And it was about 350,000. But now that we've had the conversation together, he was willing to discuss it. Now it took probably about a month before he agreed to move it on because he's really big in AI, he's big on research. He had a lot of questions. But I will tell you guys this. The more pushback your clients give you on a topic like this, the more they're interested because they just want to know why. They want to be comfortable. And like John Doe said, we have to have a conversation. You cannot call them and immediately start talking. Hey, tell me about that old 401k. Hey, what's going on with it? It's what's changed. What's new? Hey, I noticed a payment didn't go through. Did you happen to change banks? Dave, I completely forgot about that. We start off with an olive branch, a conversation just to test the waters. And then much like John Doe said, we start asking about what's new. So with this client, after his research, after we made him feel good, boom, we rolled 350,000 just right off the bat.
Yep.
His wife was so happy because her commission on that, I want to say it was about $15,000. 1 5 with 3 zeros after that. That's her first ever commission check in the insurance industry. Do you think she was sold on the idea that I can roll more money? Absolutely. Okay. So for the folks here that are new, I don't know how long you've been in the industry. I don't know what your level of experience is, but if you're a little hesitant, it's okay. It's okay to be hesitant. These are how we start off. You got to crawl before you can walk, right? None of us shot out of the crib, or from our mother's wombs and immediately started running. We're not horses, we're not giraffes. We take time. What's the same thing in our insurance world? And you want to make sure you know what you're talking about. So when you're having these conversations with your book of business and you're asking how things are going, you can bring things up. And what I like to do when I reach out to a client that I haven't talked to in a while, number one, how's it going? I haven't talked to you in about a year. What's new? Much like with John's guy, 6 years, no conversation, it happens. But you can always talk about what's new and find out, hey, last time I talked, your kids were, in middle school. How's high school going for them now? Or what's changed with them? You and your wife are talking about having more kids. How has your family grown? I mean, things that will often lead into those types of conversations because we're planting seeds, right? We're asking the right questions that all of a sudden our clients say, man, I didn't, holy cow, we had another baby last year. Dave, I need to increase my coverage. Or Dave, yeah, we had a baby. We happened to move. We moved from, Ohio. Now we're in Colorado. I took an opportunity with a new company. Perfect. How's a new company? Great. Hey, you were really happy with that 401k. Were you able to roll it over? Things, just calm conversations like that when those opportunities strike. But it all starts with us picking up that phone and dialing. For the young folks, I know texting is a common form of communication, But if your clients are in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, they will appreciate hearing your voice versus just reading words over a text. And a majority of my book of business, maybe out of the 20 clients I have with an annuity with an FIA, three of them are 60 and over. One is in his 70s, two are in their 60s, the rest are 50s and below. And when I say when I said earlier, everyone here has an opportunity to roll at least 100,000. It doesn't mean in one shot. I have several clients with $30,000 to $40,000 in an FIA because it was in an old 401k or an IRA they rolled that they just left alone. And guys, you don't have to show me your hands, but if you've ever had a 401k, you couldn't be more on an island than someone with an insurance policy that doesn't hear from their insurance agent. I'm sorry, when you have a 401k, you're managing that whole thing on your own. When
Mhm.
you leave that company, it's even more out of sight, out of mind, to the point that we actually have websites that we use to help people find old 401ks. And every time I work with a client, we find at least one that they completely forgot about. So again, by being that olive branch, by being that person that actually initiates these conversations, you're able to uncover needs that your clients had no idea they had. And
And
again, even
David,
for those folks that have their own IRAs, you're doing them a service because now you're willing to be that person, much like an advisor, even though we can't call ourselves that. We're not financial advisors, but we're still advisors in a way because they're managing everything on their own. They're doing everything by themselves. And maybe there's that one out of 1,000 clients that is big into research, a big finance nerd that wants complete control. 99 out of those, or 999 out of those other 1,000 people do want and need help, but they don't know how to ask for it. They're not going to call you and say, John, hey, I got a old 401k. I know we've never done an FIA, but I did some research. Would you mind rolling it for me? I mean, in the perfect world, that's exactly what it would be. But I'll give you an example, much like John Doe's client. I have a client who works in an industry where they go to damaged areas. And one big one is out here, the Palisades area in California that burned a couple years ago. And he's been dealing with clients in rebuilding, and his company comes in and they consult, they assess, they do all this stuff. And so getting a hold of this guy over the last year and a half has been a nightmare because he's basically working 60 plus hours a week. So his annuity finally came up for his second year. We didn't do a review the first year because he just wasn't available. But I called him for his second annual review, was happy to let him know that he made just under 10%, literally 9.89%, just under. He was very happy. It's an old 401k. But at the same time, I said, last time I talked to you, Kyle, you're so busy. How's it going? Are you still out there in the burn areas? And he said, Dave, as a matter of fact, I just came from there. But things are getting better. But hey, I just wanted to let you know. And I'm glad you called because it just triggered my memory. Our company just got bought. I said, really? Well, what does that mean for you? He goes, well, everything's changing. We're going to have a new name. Most likely, they let us know our 401k plans are going to get terminated and we have something new. But Dave, I'm still worried about the market. Are you still working with annuities? I know you're taking care of mine, but are we able to look at, some new funds? Because I've got about $250,000 and I don't want to leave it and I don't want to move it over because it's just not performing well. I said,
nice.
absolutely, Kyle. As we get closer to you finding out, let's schedule a time to meet. What I can do in the meanwhile is I'm going to have some numbers ready to go. And let me tell you something right now. The process has gotten even easier because now we have a system where it's all paperwork. I don't even need you on the phone, bud, with the actual brokerage to get that money transferred over. We know how to roll it over, making sure you can focus on your job while I take care of this financial transaction for you. Would that make it easier for you? And he just couldn't believe it, you know. But his thing again, he wouldn't have remembered that had I not called him and actually been, for lack of a better term, up his ass to conduct this annual review. I know, John, sorry, I'm trying to keep it PG, but I was really, and this just happened yesterday. It was great.
That's
But
awesome.
but going back to my agent, one of the things that I will tell the new folks on here, if you're not comfortable having the conversation, but you're excited, everyone gets excited. Listen to your upline, listen to whoever's helping mentor you. We all roll that first FIA and we get so excited that we start singing from the mountaintops and want to just tell our clients everything about it. That's not how it works. Bring in someone who is experienced to have those conversations, because my new agent, while she was excited, reached out to about 5 different people, got no responses because she just wanted to continue going on about it. Finally got her to slow down a little bit. We were able then to have the right conversation with another one of her friends from her warm market, rolled $150,000. And then she was able to roll two small ones
Nice.
all on her own, about 20,000 each. But again, the satisfaction, the experience, and just the motivation of the big ones will lead you guys to being able to do smaller ones and then eventually get comfortable with the larger ones. And keep in mind, guys, we have resources. We have multiple presentations. We have videos. I know I have some that are recorded. I'm sure John and John do as well. And if not, we can create those and get those to you where you can listen to how the conversations go. The passion, the listening skills that we exemplify at the same time, because we're not here to give a lecture, even though this kind of feels like a lecture right now, but you're not a client. But we actually have really good conversations. We ask a lot of questions. And John Doe, I mean, I've learned a lot from this guy. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where I've learned to really twist those pain points where I know when the market's losing. Check out Nike stock, guys. If anyone's had stock in Nike, they're hurting right now.
Mhm.
You know, and that's just one area. But we pay attention to things like the S&P, all those different markets that we look at. So when the markets are down, guess what I do? I reach out to my clients at the same time. And I just have conversations and I wait for the right moment to start talking about how the retirement plans are doing. Or I
Yeah.
bring up, hey, the reason I'm calling is I just got off the phone with one of my clients. He just lost about 20% in his 401k. He seemed really concerned. I remember you at the same time had mentioned how important retirement was for you. Tell me about your retirement plan right now. Are you still able to meet your goals? Are you looking for any boost to be able to hit that 2 million, $3 million in retirement that you need in the next 10 years? Whatever it might be, but have those conversations, pay attention to the market, but don't ghost your clients, guys. Be there for them. Be that reminder, even if it's just to say hello. I haven't talked to you in a while. I just wanted to reach out and let you know I'm still here. I guarantee you make 10 of those calls, like John said, at least one client will say, Dave, I'm glad you called. I want to run something by you, or I have a question for you.
Yeah.
And guys, when you guys call your clients, even if you don't know, you just want to be dangerous enough in language to spark those conversations, but don't feel like you need to explain everything. You really want to pivot over to either myself, John, David, uh, to really get into the specifics. But just hopefully the biggest takeaway there is call everyone and anybody. Just put yourself in a position to find that money. So, like David, what or John, what would your advice be for someone that does have a book, whether it's final expense, like when you start that conversation? So, like I like how you said, yeah, I just got off the phone with one of my clients, lost 20%. You know, if it fits in your personalities, guys, say it. But I think when those calls start well, then clients open up. So, like Dave, you're really good at really starting those conversations. Uh, but if we don't have a script or a template, but just definitely call first. But I guess what would your advice be to start that conversation at the very beginning?
You know,
Are you talking to me or
Either
John,
one.
right? Yeah.
I can answer first. I think the problem that I used to have when I didn't know anything about annuity is the fear of not knowing enough about that product, right? And then so I don't know how to start the conversation. I don't know what to say. I'm not comfortable because I don't know the product, which is completely normal. That's human nature. But just remember, if you put this in the back of your mind, your client knows even less than what you know, right? because you hear about it, you were in the insurance industry, you passed your test. I mean, geez, I mean, people think this insurance test is easy, but it's not. So we have a little bit more education on all these clients. If we believe that we know more than what our clients know about this space, you are going to look like a genius, right? Because you don't even need to speak a lot of vocabulary. Again, when I used to call, I used to always let them know perfect example, when I sold them a final expense or life insurance, mortgage protection, life insurance. My next conversation was, hey, did you insure your retirement? Now that you are a client of ours, have you taken advantage of our retirement division?
Have you taken advantage? I love that.
People are going to be like, I didn't even know that you guys had a division. So that's how you start to open up that conversation, right? Because you want to make them curious. Like, why didn't I take advantage of this? Just imagine you guys buy auto insurance or home insurance or any type of insurance. Well, what's next, right? Well, they lead to another bundle. Right? Everything's about bundling now, right? State Farm is a perfect commercial about bundling. You want to bundle your home, your auto, your motorcycle, your boat, your RV, right? Everything's all into one. The same thing with us, guys. If we use those terminology, we call our clients and we say, "Hey, how are you doing? Any changes in the beneficiary? Do you want to update any changes on your beneficiary plan? Do you want to update any address, right? I'm calling just to see if there's any updates that I can help you with. Oh, by the way, did you take advantage of our retirement division? Because you are our client now, and we have a retirement that you can insure your 401k too as well. I guarantee you that's going to spark up a conversation where they're going to be like, I never knew about it, or they're going to let you know, I do have a 401k. What is this all about? How much does it cost me? Or can I know a little bit more? Perfect. Perfect. And if they say no, no, I didn't, I say, well, I'm really surprised because we have a retirement division that can actually help insure your 401k. And remember, annuity is an insurance contract. Okay. If you visit our website, www.americhoicefinancialgroup.com, we have stress tests on there. We have videos. We have annuity videos. What is an annuity? What is a contract? What are some of the things that you can say? So guys, utilize our website. We have so much short video. It's a minute, 2 minute video, right? There's Warren Buffett on there too. But those are the conversations that you should call 6 months after you make a sale. Because 6 months later, hey, I wanted to call just to make sure that you got your policy, everything's in place. And you know what? Calling them in the first place reduces chargebacks. So right there, so you're already reducing your chargeback. Second is you are reminding them that, I'm your guy, you need insurance, let me know. And lastly, hey, I want to let you know we have a retirement division that you can take advantage of to insure your 401k, right? Please take advantage of it. Put it into your word that you are more comfortable,
Yeah.
but speak on that. And then if they have show any sign of interest, there you go. Then now you step in and say, hey, look, I want to do you a favor. You're my client. We want to make sure because we are a all one-stop shop, and I want to make sure that we bundle everything together for you. Why don't I set you up with one of our advisor? Okay. Whether you can talk about estate planning, because remember last week we were talking about estate planning, have a trust in place, all of that. We have separate divisions, right? We have uh, expert that can help you elevate you guys so that we will make you guys shine. You know what I mean? If you do everything, well, it looks like you're pretty small. But if you have people working for you, that's an entire company, right? That's completely different. That elevates you as a broker. You don't wear multiple hats. You have people working for you to take care of your clients in a different division. That just makes you look so much bigger than just selling a simple final expense policy. But you got to get that conversation out. The
But
more
guys, what, sorry to interrupt, John. What if you guys actually did it? what if you guys actually went to your back office, whatever carriers, and just spent some time and not fun, but what if you guys did it? So I mean, David, 1.6 million in annuity production last couple months based off of just what was sitting right in front of him, right? So there's a ton of opportunities. And one thing just to kind of unpack something that John said at the beginning, David too, if you take good notes during your presentation, John said, I always take good notes and I notice this. So always, even if you're not taking great notes, go back to your book. But a good practice needs analysis. Take really good notes as you're going through every single appointment that you run because it comes right at you. You're like, oh shit, he has 200,000 sitting in a savings account doing nothing, right? Because you're going through the needs analysis and you're just taking notes. And I notice you have this here. So then it's a lot easier to go back to your clients, guys. So in the presentations, take really, really good notes. It's going to help.
Yeah. I think, when we first had Roman, when I first met Roman, Roman knew nothing about annuities. He has, I don't know, thousands of final expense clients. Right. When I met him in South Africa, when we came back, I said, Roman, look, if you call to just take your time to call to just a couple of your clients. And guess what? He did, and we were able to do three annuities, right? I mean three, right? Roman, are you on here? Is he? Is Roman on here?
I think I just hopped off.
Okay,
Oh,
so
it's true. There you go.
right there. Okay, so he's probably closing a final expense sale, but he did it. He took his time out, and I had to push him really hard because he's so busy. Like he's constantly dialing, calling new clients. I said, look, Roman, just just take time out. Just take 30 minutes. Call a couple people who are over 59 and a half, right? Because anybody who's over 59 and a half, we have a better potential that they have your 401k. So he did take his time out and we were able to sell three. And then one of his clients' name is George. He's actually selling his mom's house. And after we sold him the first annuity, his mom passed away. Unfortunately, his mom passed away, and then she left him with another set of inheritance, and then we closed that one too as well. So again, my point is one conversation led to multiple sales for Roman, you know, and it's just a repeat, rinse and repeat cycle. So I encourage everybody. It is not a comfortable conversation in the beginning, but if you make it a habit, it becomes normal conversation. It just becomes really, really normal. So, I know we only got a little bit of time left here. If anybody want to chime in to ask questions on how to approach, if you have a situation, right? Because we don't want to be the only one talking on Wealth Wednesday. We want to hear situation. We want you guys to open up about a situation where you guys came across what can you do better? What can you do different? Or how can you do different? Hey, I'm going into this event. I'm going into this meeting here in a week or so. What can I say to start this conversation? So does anybody here have any situation that we can help at least guide you to the right conversation? Anybody?
What's up, fellas?
Joe,
Um,
what about you?
well, I mean, I've been listening to everything going on, and we've all been in the business long enough to know, what we need to do to keep, reviewing our book of business, keep moving money. Um, but and as well as I was paying attention, uh, we just confirmed 300,000 check went out the other day. I think John called me on it this morning. But your anniversaries on the annuities. I mean, I just did two last week where between two sisters, it was 230,000 that, they, 2 years after their anniversary, we're like, hey, they've got over $1 million in there, 10%. That's over 100,000 easy that we can move. So, we moved another 230,000 just by doing a review and looking over their annual statements. I mean, it's easy to do. You just got to go through your book of business, whichever company you're at. There's always an opportunity to create those renewals and annuities by, look at their statements, look how much money they have that's free that we can reinvest for them. We don't want all their eggs in one basket, so why not, take that 10% free withdrawal, 20% free withdrawal, and move it over to another company where they can bonus and make more money. That's called leveraging.
Yeah.
That's our job, is to help our clients make money. We're never going to make them rich. That's not what annuities are designed for. They're designed to supplement income over time. But if you do it the right way, you can definitely make your clients some money, and they'll definitely love you for that. And they'll also refer you out. So, do the work, do all the little things that people don't want to do. And then that's what successful people do. They're willing to do the things that unsuccessful people aren't willing to do. Which one are you?
Yeah.
You
So,
know?
so does everybody here know how to look to their book, whether they're in this industry for 6 months or a year, or if you go to your agent portal, okay, on the carrier, you just search it, book of business from 24 to 2026, and literally you can even narrow it down to the age, to the month, to enforce or decline or not. I mean, there's so much option for each carrier to do, and you print that out on an Excel spreadsheet, right? You print that out on an Excel spreadsheet, and if you want to, you can even contact us, and we will be more than happy to sit there and coach you through it, of what you should say. What can happen, these conversation. I mean, that's what we really need to do, right? Is there there's so many opportunity that everybody has. Even if you have 10 clients, even if you have 10 clients, that 10 clients, you reach out to them, one of them probably has an old 401k that you never even knew about, that, we can help you guys start that process. So everybody here, I'm assuming, knows how to do that, know how to into their carrier portal, John. I'm assuming.
Yeah, and I would say everything is in your back office. You can go look at it. Just get some traction going. Start with the people that you have, that you remember, that you have some type of rapport with. Start with those guys first. But they call through, and I like that Joe said, it's actually easy to do it. It's easy to actually do it. It's a little easier not to, right? You get laser focused on, leads, what you're doing, but going back, I mean, it's a big deal. That's kind of the topic of this call. But with that being said, guys, again, leads, driving business, that should be a staple. But there's so much money that you're probably just sitting on. It might be over a couple 100,000, tens of thousands in commissions for sure. And then I like John's phrase. So if you guys already have annuities, it was a phrase I use a lot, John, refinancing your annuity.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that kind of what Joe did with a couple of his clients, just putting them in a better position. So there's a lot of opportunity, guys.
Yeah. Um, Gretchen, didn't I speak to you like maybe last year about I think you had some type of potential, and you were kind of don't want to feel pushy about talking an annuity to one of your clients, or was it you or was it someone else?
No, I don't think it was me. I haven't been here
Oh,
that long, but I did have a question.
yes.
So, I was looking, well, I've been looking the last couple days on annuity leads, and I noticed that they are out the roof
Oh
as
yeah.
far as pricing.
Oh
And
yeah.
I didn't know if any of you guys ever took advantage of those leads, and if so, did they pan out, or is it just something to stay away from?
Well, well, if you're talking about annuity leads are that costing $1,000 to $2,000 an appointment, right? Are you talking about those? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So my recommendation is, if you're really, really new, then stay away from those, right? Because you have other low cost annuities that if you put hard work into and dial in and making appointments and setting us up, we can actually make you more money on that while you're learning. Unless if you are experienced annuity producer, and you're doing $3 to $5 million a year yourself, which those $1,000, $2,000 annuity appointments, go for it, right? Which is
Yeah, even on the cheap, it was like, $100, $200 for a lead. And I'm like, well, I don't know if I want to take that chance. So,
yeah, yeah, and how long you been in the business? my dear?
Like 0 years.
0 years? Okay.
John,
We're not going to do $1,000 preset appointments for, a newer agent.
Well,
yeah.
We do like Kevin Jensen's leads. Those are 85 a piece, all
mhm.
virtual, pretty high intense. Everyone that I've sat with, they're qualified. They have money.
And what
So
are they?
those are through Lifeco. Those are 85 a piece
Okay.
Mhm.
and all virtual. So everyone John's gotten deals off of it. I've gotten deals off of it. Really good return for an $85 lead compared to $1,000 preset. But it
Okay.
all works. And if we're talking leads, it's really how much you're going to invest for the whole return, not necessarily just the individual cost of a lead. But when you're brand new, yeah, $1,000 preset appointment, that's just a little too much.
Yeah.
But the annuity leads that we're using that are virtual, we
And
have a lot of traction with those.
do you have like a book
Okay.
of business of like 10, 15 clients?
Actually, I have like five. So
Five?
Yeah, no, Gretchen's
I'm
just getting going.
organized.
She did,
I hopped around
Yeah.
until I finally found Jonathan. So now I have
yeah,
a
she
place to
got 5 apps
call.
last week, so it's a good start.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, 5 apps last week and on what? Final expense, mortgage protection,
Mm.
or what? What
FU,
that was it.
those final exhibits.
Okay, perfect. So then you sold 5 policies, and I'm pretty sure that we never touch on this. So, if it was just last month, I will wait a couple more weeks. Hey, call them back. Hey, have you received your policy? I just wanted to make sure that you got everything all set up. If you did get your policy, do you want me to go over one more time? Oh, by the way, now because you are our client, I want to let you know that you can take advantage of our retirement division that helps put insurance on a 401k or an IRA plan if you have one. If you say it like that, they're gonna say, no, I don't have any. Yes, I do. How does this work? Right? Because first of all, in order for you to have sold them, they must have trusted you. They must have liked you to do business with you, right? Because I'm pretty sure this was over the phone and they were confident enough and trust you enough to give you their banking information, their social security. So you must have did build up a lot of trust with those 5 clients. Well, now take that opportunity of what we're talking about now, and don't be afraid. You're not going to lose the sale.
Yeah.
You're not going to lose your final expense sale. No matter what you say, you're not going to lose it. Okay. Call back, say, hey, I want to call to check in to see if you receive your policy. And do you want me to go over again one more time? By them hearing you tell them that, it's a breath of fresh air, right? Because you are not any other agent who just sold them and done. You're like a magician. You just disappear, right? We don't want that. And then once they say, yes, I understand everything. Thanks for giving me a call. Oh, by the way, because you are our client now, we have a retirement division that insures 401k IRAs. Would you like to take advantage of that? Right? If we don't ask, I'd rather get a no than not ask, right? I'd rather hear them tell me, no, I don't have an IRA. No, it's okay. Follow back next couple months. So now I know, okay, well, now I'm not curious if this person has it or not have it, or what could have been, right? At least I know it's not. But you are going to get a answer, and you are going to get a conversation. That I promise you, that is going to be a guaranteed outcome. Is they will give you a answer. Yes, I do have one. No, I don't have one.
Okay,
And it
thanks.
all goes back to you're not asking, someone else
I
is.
want to follow up on John, okay? By Friday or next week, Wednesday, I'm gonna call you up on a panel to see if you did do those things, and let's see the results. Yeah,
Okay,
you
cool.
promise?
And remember, like John's point, if you're not asking that, someone else is.
Right.
Don't let someone else take your business.
Yeah, I'll even do this. Okay, if you ask those 5 final expense plan, okay, and we next week when you talk about those 5 conversations, I will send you $100, okay, lead gift card or a gas card, but you got to do it, and you got to you got to be truthful about it, okay, 5 conversation of those 5 people. Call them, do exactly what we just talked about. Next week,
Okay,
when you hop back on, you tell us the outcome of those 5, and I will send you $100 gift card. That's how.
deal.
Deal? Is that a deal? All right, deal. Okay.
So any other thoughts, questions at all, like while we're here, of anything that we went over?
All right, John. It looks like everybody's all good. Next week we're gonna have Andrew come on. He's a product specialist. Okay, he will go over a lot of different comparison product from carriers, which one is performing really well, which one you should focus on. So join us for next week at 10 a.m. Pacific time, same time, but we're gonna have Andrew on, and this guy is a genius on products. You are going to absorb in a lot of product information. We like to talk about different stuff on different Wednesday and not just focus on just product, because we can get product training all we want, but without having a conversation or having someone to talk about it, it's kind of pointless, right? So next week, join us again. We will have Andrew on, and it's going to be great. Gretchen, I'm going to see you next week to hear about your outcome. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you very much.
And we have our new agent call tomorrow, same time. But anything you guys need, dive into your old book. That was the topic today. But also, leads, that aspect. So definitely reach out to us. Anything you guys need, and guys have a good week. Thanks, David.